everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we have the Rocky Mounts Monorail 2-bike platform rack, which we'll take a look at on our 2021 Audi SQ5. So the Monorail is a really popular bike rack because of how it has all of those fun premium features, and it can carry most different types of bikes, but it's not at an extreme premium price. So we'll take a look at how it fits on our Audi here. The main thing is that this is a 2-bike platform rack, so if you want to expand, you can only expand up to 3 bikes with this. The first feature we'll take a look at though is the tilt away feature. Underneath the rack you have this bright blue lever. We're going to pull the lever and we're going to let this bike rack drop down to a tilt. Why would you tilt your rack away? Well, if you want to open up your hatch. So notice here that there's going to be plenty of clearance between our pedals and our handlebars as the door opens. This gives us all the space to reach out here, grab our waters, our helmets, our backpacks, even switch out our shoes if needed, all without having to take any of the bikes off. Now when you lift up, try to focus on holding the bike rack frame for most of that lift, and then just using the bikes as a slight support. Now lifting it up might be a little tricky if you have this fully loaded because it has a 60-pound per bike weight capacity. If you have heavy electric bikes, this is a good fit. If you don't like lifting heavy electric bikes though, this might be a little trickier. Other bikes that this can carry is carbon fiber frame bikes, step-through bikes, because it has a front wheel mount. So nothing is touching the frame. It's a nice secure fit. It makes it easier to load the bikes, honestly. And when you want to take the bikes off, you start at the rear wheel strap. So here you press this other blue lever that disengages the strap. So as long as you keep that press, you can lift up, and I like to tuck it away out of the way of the spokes. We're gonna come back to the front, hold on to the bike's frame with one hand, press this button with the other hand, lift up on the hook, push out on the hook, and now, just like that, we're ready to hit the trails. Now notice there in the front cradle how it has different grooves. That's because of different tire widths. So whether you have a thin road bike tire or a wide fat bike tire of up to 5 inches wide, you can carry them with this bike rack. Now those also become a bit more compact, so that doesn't take up much space. To do so, you just fold that down and it clicks into place. This rear cradle pivots back and forth actually, and that's for different wheelbases with a maximum wheelbase of up to 48 inches. So if you have an extra large frame or really long wheelbase, just double check it, because I know that can max out some of the bikes for our taller friends. This also folds down and is a bit more compact there. Now let's talk about how much space this will take up behind your vehicle. So what I like to do is I like to measure from this bumper here, and then we'll go out to the end of the rack, so that if you have a small garage or trying to park into a tight spot, you'll be able to see. So bumper to end of rack here, that's going to be 33 inches. Now another measurement is going to be ground clearance. And that's measured at the end of the rack to the ground, 18¼ inches. Compare that to the shank to the ground, which is only 11½ inches, which is actually a lot. We have this hitch receiver on our Audi SQ5, and that also gives us that ground clearance. If you have those heavy electric bikes, you're going to be lifting them up a good amount of height. Ground to cradle, 23½ inches, so almost 2 feet high. If you're not a big fan of lifting that high, I do recommend taking a look at some of our bike rack options that have ramps. One example would be the Swagman Ska with the extra purchase of a ramp and bridge. That has a similar look and weight capacity, but you can ramp your heavy electric bikes up instead of having to lift them up almost 2 feet. With this bike rack, notice with it folded up, full visibility of our rear window, visibility of our taillights, kind of covers our license plate, But our backup camera sits in this opening underneath our front wheel hook. So what's going to happen? When you go into reverse, you will set off those sensors for the rear camera, but you'll still be able to have that wide angle view, and you'll be able to see a little bit through the bike rack if there's any cars or people behind you. This does install into a 2-inch hitch receiver. You do have locks for both your cable lock of your bike rack included, as well as the cable pin or the cable lock for the bikes and the anti-rattle hitch pin. This is nice and secure and safe. If you do not have a hitch receiver for your Audi SQ5, you can find one here at eTrailer. Another alternative that I mentioned today was if you do want that ramp and bridge, check out the Swagman Skaha. But all in all, the monorail is a solid option, has those premium features like tilts away, heavyweight chassis, front wheel mount, so no worries about carbon fiber frames. It's an all-in-one package. This was a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail 2-bike platform rack and how it fits our 2021 Audi SQ5. Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.